Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ghost from ghostmusic.com, and today we are working on that WordPress theme. So what we're going to do in this one is we are going to just get a very basic understanding of WordPress, see what elements that we need and how we can style this. So right now what we're going to do is jump to the desktop and hopefully you guys follow along. So now that we're at our desktop and we have our index page open, what we're going to do is, right before we do that, we're going to create two new files. So we're going to create two new PHP files, and these files are going to be header.php and footer.php. And in both of these files we want them completely blank. So right now we're just going to remove anything that is in these files. In the header file, what we're going to do is add our HTML. We are going to add our head tags. And right below our head tags, we are going to add our body tags. Now what we're going to do is going to be very interesting. What we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the closing body tag and the closing HTML tag. We're not going to put them inside of our header. We're going to put them inside of our footer. Once we have both of these added in here, just styling them up, give me 1 second. Okay, now that we have both of them added into the header and the footer on the index page, what we're going to do is we're going to add our PHP tag get header, close this tag, we're going to duplicate it, and if you can guess right, we're going to add our footer. Okay, so what we did right now was in our header we declared our HTML open tag, we've added our head, and we've added our body. This is very important when you want to actually add all this stuff in there. You want to make sure that everything is independent of the index page. The reason for this is because it's going to be reusable depending on what page that you're working with. The way that I do them is generally I break them down into compartments, basically components that we can change all the styling inside of each page while still keeping the functionality and uniform look of every single page. Very rarely am I going to deviate from this. People have their own preferences on how they style their pages, but for me, I find this to be the most effective. In our footer, we close these tags because in our PHP, once we grab our header, we open up everything, and then in our footer, we close everything. And it just makes, again, everything easier for us. We don't have to ever remember adding all these elements to here. All we have to do is just grab the header, grab the footer, and we're done. Inside of our header, there's one important PHP tag that we want to add, and that is the WP head function. And what this does, it goes into WordPress, grabs everything that's necessary for the head section. So loading our CSSs, our JavaScripts, depending on where they're loaded on the profile, on the theme itself, grabbing them. And what we're going to also do is right before the closing of the body tag, we are going to do the same thing, but instead it is WP I think footer. So yes, it is WP footer. Now that we have this, we also have the JavaScript files and necessary files that WordPress needs, and we've loaded them in the footer. So again, we have everything organized and done appropriately, so when we start the style and start to edit all of our functionality, we already have everything done as templates, and all we have to do is just pull them to each one of the files and not have to ever repeat the same code ever again, for the most part. Now that we have both of those in here, what we're going to do is, just to test, we're going to open up our PHP tag, we are going to echo, and then we're going to open up the quotation marks, and we're going to put just a random string. It doesn't really matter what it is. As a funny joke, I'll just put, who is this? Now we'll close it off, we'll save it, and now we'll go into our localhost.wordpress, and we're gonna refresh. Okay, now that we have it refreshed, you may notice that we have the WordPress bar on there with all the WordPress sort of functionality, and this stuff is only visible to the admin of the page. So if you were a normal WordPress user, you would not see this. Only admins and more higher level administrative accounts can actually see this. So don't worry about it. We can actually disable it if necessary, but for right now, we're not worrying about it. But if you do see this bar, that means that you have done everything right. Okay, now that we're able to have all this stuff done, now what we're going to do is we're going to head back into our file now that we know that it's working, and we are going to add the main loop to our WordPress theme, which this loop is responsible for grabbing all the main elements that WordPress has and uses to compile a theme. This is all the blog posts, the headers, if it's a static page that you create on WordPress backend, all the stuff that it needs to load the page. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to grab just the basic loop just to get everything initially started. So there are two helpful WordPress websites that, if you guys want more detail that you can actually get for WordPress, it's going to be codec.wordpress.org or developer.wordpress.org. These two websites are top notch. They provide the most information. They're actually made from WordPress developers that actually work on WordPress, and they give you the ins and outs of all the functionality, what each function does. If you search up a specific theme or a specific term that you just don't know what it is, it will actually provide that information for you. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the main loop. And as I said before, the main loop is just the loop that provides us with all the content that WordPress itself has. Okay. So what we're doing here is, this is the if statement. It's if you have any post, we're going to check if there's any post. While you do have any posts, for each one we're going to grab the post. Then what we want is going to be the title, and we also want the content. And once we have that information added into there, we load it back up, and now we can see our initial post. And with that one, we'll wrap it up for today, and we'll go a little bit more in depth on the next one of what we actually can do with this loop and how it affects everything. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It helps the channel grow a lot. As well as make sure you subscribe. If you know anybody that's creating WordPress themes and needs a little bit more help, make sure to share this link with them. I really do appreciate it. And if you guys have any more comments, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. I'll make sure to answer as many as I can. And if we get enough comments about one topic, I will add it into this tutorial. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.